I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. So until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase the bag, I want a way I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. No way now, I'll give up everything.
The venom in my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once, I just so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, part of my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted, created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every.
Yes, people, big up to all of you. And once again, welcome back to Trust Perspective. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. In today's edition, we'll talk more about Manchester United game, upcoming Manchester United game in a few hours today. We'll also address some news item. You can say just some reports out there. More importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. And I wish to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. Without wasting much of your time, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, without wasting much of your time, it's important that I say hello to all of you in the chat. And the first person here is Constantine. Big up to you, brother. And Rich Money Makers. Nice to see you all. I hope you're both doing well. Rich Money Makers there. Constantine Dante there talking to Rich Money Makers. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. And then Wheeze Paparazzi Beats. Nice to see you, Mr. Wheezy. I hope you're doing well. And I sincerely do appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I can't not thank you enough. But more importantly, I hope everyone in the chat is doing well. We have 38 people watching, but only 13 people on YouTube. We are 11 minutes into the show, and we have 11 likes. That's a good sign. If you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. We have Bobby Smokey Signals. Nice to see you, Bobby. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I hope you're doing well. And Footy F17, FIFA 17, is that what stands for? Big up. I think that's the first. This is the first time I'm seeing you here. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Chelsea Perspective community. Feel at home. Express yourself. Hear your opinion matters. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. Mr. Footy F17, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. Yep, let's get the likes up. Let's try and get it to 100 likes as soon as possible. We have 15 likes, and to find the likes, comments, and dislike options, all you have to do is just hold your screen for about a second, then you see those options, and then you do what you want to do there. Yep, you have every right to like, dislike, or comment on the video, or share. We'd really appreciate that. Whatever you decide to do, all of them count as interactions, and it helps the community grow. So thank you so much, all of you, for all the love. And yep, everyone keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And something else that's important, if you are on a small device, all you have to do is to swipe up to go full screen. And believe me, if you go full screen, you'd never like to watch a YouTube video. You never watch a YouTube video on landscape mode, but on vertical mode, believe me, up close and personal. Footy, I subscribe. Thank you so much for letting us that you've subscribed. Do you own a YouTube channel? Because we're selfless here. We like to help our members who own a YouTube channel. We like to help them grow, to grow our community, to broaden our chances of reaching new fans and grow our fan base, because we all love the same club. Yep. Let's go. More likes, people, more likes. So I'm going to ask all of you in the chat. And I remember Rich Money Makers further up did say, yeah, we have to win this one. Yep, we really do have to win this one. We can win it. Question is, will we win it? But we can. Since we can, hopefully the manager, he does his homework, and then we'll be able to win. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. We appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Let's try and see if we can get it to 100 likes. We're 16 likes, and we're just 14 minutes into the show. You support Man City. Okay, you're still welcome. We welcome everybody here. We listen to your opinions. Your opinion does matter to us. Your opinions do matter to us. And it will also do have a sister channel. So you can go subscribe to our sister channel there. We can promote your channel there. We cover every football club, not just Chelsea. It's called A Soccer Perspective. So for branding purposes, the name doesn't deviate that much from Chelsea Perspective. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I'm sweating, and the thermostats was supposed to be smart to know when the house is sitting up rather than cooling down. It doesn't make sense. It just focuses on saving power. But that's, by the way, good morning, Coach, and everyone in the chat. Good morning to you too, Jude. I appreciate you. We did a second live stream on Jude's YouTube channel. I think the third one. We did the first one, and I must say I'm honored to be one of his first ever guests, actually. The second one he did alone, and the third one we did together last night. Probably more suitable for U.S. Residents who are Chelsea fans, but I had fun doing it, even though I was tired at the time, and I think he sensed I was tired. But if you haven't, go and subscribe to CFC Jingles. Let's help him grow as quickly as possible. I appreciate you all finding the time to be part of the show this particular morning. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I like Man City. Okay, funny enough, but I love Chelsea. Okay, good to hear that. So the first item we have here reads, I think that's what's regard with plans to build a new stadium. Here it says Chelsea have held discussions with Populous, the firm which completed work on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in 2019, but are yet to appoint a replacement architect for Smith. Populous declined to comment. So nothing to make of this, really. It just doesn't go beyond telling us that Chelsea have held discussions with the company in question, but I'm not too sure what to make of this particular report. That's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. This is thank you, coach. No worries, no worries. I enjoyed myself. What time is the match day for me? 12 p.m. my time. I don't know what time that is in the for those in the UK. Let's see who is winning, Chelsea or Manchester United. The game is played over 90 minutes, and both teams you could both measure each other, cancel out each other in terms of forms. Pretty much the same. The average goal per game for each for the two teams doesn't differ that much. Chelsea for 1.8 and then Manchester United 1.4. So 0.4 is nothing. It could go either way. So the game could still end in a draw. That doesn't mean that Chelsea will most certainly outscore Manchester United. So this is the sort of game you just have to wait until the man in the middle blows the final whistle. Then you find out who the winner is. Coach is always telling lies. Bro, you know the temperature has absolutely nothing to do with the thermostat. Big up, yeah. That's that's because you're you're in the H place, so even for the most powerful what is called most powerful cooling system will not work there. But much love to you, the beautiful game. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Big up to you too. I hope you're doing well. And Rich Moneymaker saying, yes, I want Man City to win the league. Yep, I'd rather City win it than Arsenal. I want Arsenal to finish the season and not win any trophies. Yep, after being at the top of the table, after topping the table temporarily, I want them to not win it. And I'm serious about that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. We appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Let's see what else we have here. This is saying, okay, aka sweet. I trust Chelsea to make Mason Mount back make Mason Mount look like prime Messi. That's one of my biggest concerns. But I hope that doesn't happen. I hope he falters. I hope he has a bad game on the day. I don't want him to do well. I want my club to beat them convincingly. But let's see if that happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along. We appreciate you all finding the time to join this show this particular morning. 18 likes, and we are how many minutes into the show? 19 minutes. Let's try and get it to 100 likes today, people. Those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, just know that we appreciate you. But I want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us. The likes do go a long way. Yeah, big up to you, Bobby. Let's hear you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope your treatment is going well. So the question is, are you looking forward to this one? Some question that you were asked yesterday. We can beat them, but we will beat them. But let's hear you, Bobby. You have the floor. This is the match build-up show. So yeah, take it from any angle you want to.
Yeah, coach, big up, coach, and all in the chat. My position hasn't changed. I don't know. I'm not cartwheeling over the prospect of the game. However, I enjoy the game because it's what we're here for. I tried to post some positivity this morning because I found that we are allowing the trolls and the hackers to get into the Chelsea fan base. You know, we are where we are. We're rebuilding. total reset from scratch with youngsters and a litany of injuries. So, what we need now for each other and for the team is our support and for us to have a better understanding of the direction we're going. It's not all doom and gloom. As for today, I've highlighted how I think we can handle the day. I personally believe from the last outing at Old Trafford and from my the times I have watched Man United, I must say I haven't focused on them a lot, but the times I've watched them, in terms of their performance, I have to say yet again, they really haven't been that much better than us, if at all they've been better. Um,
No, they're not. We're actually a bit better
you
by
know
in
that
our last 5 games. We've won one. I think let me look at it quickly. In our last 5 games, I think we're in a better form. Let me look at it. Yeah, in our last 5 games, we've lost none. We won three, drew two. In their last 5 games, they drew one, lost one, and won three. Yep. And we've been scoring more than them. I think we've been conceding more. Just to be facts, but to be truthful, there. Go ahead, Bobby.
yeah, so and they're not in a rebuild. What they are in is chaos. They've got a very mature squad, and they've on huge wages that I'm sure they would love to be able to offload. So we've got to get off, you know, as politely as possible. We've got to get over ourselves. We went through a period where mediocrity was never an option. I'm inclined to believe it's still not an option. What we are going through is a rebuild, and whether we like the nature of the rebuild or not, we are where we are. The players are not bad. The team is not bad. The team has been, whether we want to admit it to ourselves or not, the team has been inhibited by a litany of injuries since the beginning of the season. So, whatever happens today, whatever happens today, what I want to see is one Stamford Bridge rocking behind the team. Crikey, if we can't get up for it against Man United, who can we get up for it against? We've got to be rocking. And I really want to see, based on what I said yesterday, that, and I was about to say today, that Man United, if they have any strength at all, it comes from their physicality in midfield, the way they look to bully teams. They've got McTominay there with his size and his height, and then we've got who's the other guy? Casemiro there as well. He's not as tall, but he's very physical, and they look to do that. Now, I think our midfield is mobile enough to deal with them, but we need a tall, physical guy to hold because of McTominay. I don't ever like to build a team to target withstand one player, but in this instance we need to, because McTominay has punished us before, and we need to learn from that. So going back to play them with the Diddy men of Caicedo and Enzo, and yes, Gallagher is physical, but he's not particularly the biggest. So we've got to show we've learnt. Now, people were up in arms and were objecting to the use of Chalobah in midfield, saying he hasn't played there for a while. Okay, if you want to do that, I personally don't think that's an issue because he does play there and he's experienced. But we've got young Casaday, Cesare Casaday, who's been training consistently with the team, has a little cameo here and there. I think this is the time to give him a start, personally. We can't keep doing the same things, expecting a different result for fear that difference would be a problem to us. We're already different. We're already new. We're already experimental, which I think was the word used yesterday. I would go for it. I don't know if Poch even has the balls, but personally, I'll go for it. It's a risk because of the mood of the fan base who are ready to crucify anybody and everybody in the Chelsea ownership, the Chelsea management, anyone that can come under their wrath whenever things aren't going well. They like to attack. Um, it's unfortunate, it really is, because as if you want to call it a bit of an old timer, I'm not sure I'm used to that level of attack on the club. We all want to win, but I am of the mentality and of the old school that believe, okay, when things aren't going well, it's now time to button down the hatch. It's now time to draw up the bridge from the moat. It's now time to circle the wagons. It's now time for us to adopt the siege mentality, to stand by each other, the Alamo, as it were. Time to stand with the club, for the club, and let the club and the players feel the supporters. Let them feel us. They've never felt us, especially the ownership. They've never felt us from the time they took over in difficult times till today. So I think it's time they feel us. So to answer your question, my attitude is win, lose, or draw. I will support Chelsea today. I will support Chelsea today. I will support the players today. I will support the management today. And believe me, I have not been a fan of Pochettino. You heard me on your stream how I reacted to the times when we were going for him. But we've got what, after today, 9 more games for the season to end. There's nothing we can do that can change much. No injuries are coming back quickly. Let's support the team. Let's brace ourselves for if it goes horribly wrong today, which it can do. But no, I've made up my mind to support this team. And I wish I was at the stadium. Unfortunately, I'm still recovering, but I wish I was at that stadium today because they need to hear us. They need to hear us today. Let them know that Chelsea Football Club have people that love that club. Tired of the moaning, all the nonsense we got to put up with if it's on social media, which I barely even listen to these days, or this or that. It's all moan, 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 whinge, whinge, bowly, bowly, this player, that player. It's just not acceptable anymore. The only caveat I'll make to that is the one player I don't give a rat's backside if he gets stick on social media, certainly not at the stadium, is Roger's cousin, Raheem Sterling. Hola, Roger.
Mhm.
I'll keep quiet now for you.
Hola,
All right, thank
señor.
you. All right, thank you so much. I will catch up with what we have in the chat. Um, and then I will come back to the panel to hear whether Roger is looking forward to this one and ask him the same question that I asked you. Mason Mount would score all types of goals tonight. Overhead kicks, headers, long shots, and all that. I think he will attempt all. The question is which one goes in. And if he underperforms, I want to hear what Johnny Mirrors has to say. If he scores, then he will say he told you all. Big up to you too, funny viral videos. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I appreciate that. Coach need honey in his coffee. That's what I use. I don't use the sugar, and I've told you this before. But leave me alone. Let me talk football. I got married in 2014 and haven't had sugar in our house since then, and I like it. Thanks to my wife. Have we? Okay, let's see. Keep dropping likes on the stream. And Tamidayo Lua Reckon Me is in the house, my Niger Pro. Nice to see you. He says, Coachella, don't be surprised that you left the studios with just your trousers. Where today. Today will be my first time in Jersey Heights. I like that one. Thank you so much. I appreciate you admiring what I have on here. Roger, and that's Rich Moneymaker saying hello to you. And the Wheezy Paparazzi Beats says, I don't want us to lose today. It's time for us to win, to beat Manchester United. I don't think at any time you've at any there was ever a time you wanted you want Chelsea to lose. You've always wanted Chelsea to win. Maybe you're just saying it because it's that important to you. It's a must-win game. Poch does not have the responding to Bobby that asked the question whether Poch has the cojones, and Constantine that thinks he doesn't. But let's see. I think there are some decisions he made in the last game that showed maybe even if he didn't have one before, he's growing one. I'm not gonna say anything beyond that. I think Poch will drop the Sassi and Badia Sheila Chaloba and Silva will play together. Ooh, I don't see that happening. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's see what happens. John CFC, nice to see you, John CFC. Is this somebody? Is this somebody that's been here before that changed their name? But John, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I think we'll be all right. I need Gallagher in the midfield today. Let's see what the manager does. Has he been playing in the defense? I don't know. You let me know. We start a Silva if we decide to sit back more or in a different with a different formation. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Thank you, Bobby. My resolve exactly. Okay. I have learned now to not have high expectations, but just accept the reality and just support the club. I think that's a good mindset. And I'm gonna say this: rebuild doesn't equate to mediocrity. I don't know how you see it. Rebuild means that's a plan. The plan isn't to stay to remain to stay stationed, for lack of a better language that comes to mind. The plan is to get to somewhere where again, where by the time we get there, we'll all be proud. Yeah, that we did we in fact got through with the rebuilding process. So my point is, rebuild is not equal to mediocrity. No, you're going somewhere. You're going somewhere. So we haven't been like this for years. We made a lot of changes. We're in the rebuild process. I'm just going to leave it at that. Where irrespective of my opinion of the manager or the situation, but I've always known that the immediate future will be will be difficult for a lot of Chelsea fans to deal with. And that's the case. And the owners, the response from Todd Bowley showed you this is not his first rodeo. He's always known that fans will react the way they did, which was why he said it's a good thing that fans love the club so much. I don't want to misquote him. I have to be careful. Love the club so much that they're behaving the way they're doing. And it's also a bad thing. Yeah, that they love the club so much that they're behaving the way they're doing. This is not his first rodeo. I get it. The argument will always be he knows nothing about football, but he's owned a sports club. So this is not the first time that he's dealing with fans. If you get my point there. And some will say, yeah, baseball is different. No, fans of sports are fans of sports, no matter the sports. If you understand my point, for every sport, you need to win to be recognized as one of the best. So having that alone that baseball has in common with football, again, for me, shows that fans are the same everywhere, because I don't see any sort of sports that you will show me, any sort of sport that you show me that the fans don't want their club to win. I don't know what else to say there. How can you blame us for doing what? For mourning. He's not blaming you. He's just, again, he's entitled to his opinion. You're entitled to yours too, John CFC. Let's see what else we have. Keep dropping the likes on the screen, people. The likes do go a long way. Bobby is here. You miss him. He's here. Your man is here. These small peanuts don't grow overnight. Yep. They don't grow overnight. It takes time. But a lot of people have failed to understand that that's truly the case. No, irrespective of your opinion of you can say perception of the situation, you must understand. Even if you want the club to make a change, they cannot do anything until we get to the summer transfer window. To make changes, maybe it has to be plural there. Tonight's win can bring us some short-term happiness over what has been another disappointing season. We actually have we're just a few points away from, I think, 7th place or 8th place, which means we're close. So if we can, I don't know how many games we're going to win out of our remaining games, but if we can win a few, even if we don't get into top 7 or top 8, I think our place in the table will improve. That's my opinion there. Let's see anything else we have here. We need men bought in and not boys. I think they will do so. With by a few men. Given, let me use a particular language you're using to make you to understand my point. I think by now they're smart enough to learn that we need to mix it up even more. We need more experience
Coach,
because the
can I
argument
drop
shouldn't
one
be we
thing?
don't.
Can I please drop one thing? Sorry to cut you short.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I just add this? People talking about we need experience, we need experience. Yes, I agree. Although the experience we would have relied on, I reiterate quite strongly that they have been and still are on the injury table. That's one. Maybe there's not enough of them. I don't know. And these boys will have acquired much, much, much needed experience from their experience this season. So next season, they're going to be better off anyway. Let's not forget that. This is all part of what it takes for a total rebuild, total reset. We're going through it. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. It's despairing for those that have always been at the club during the top end of things, winning, winning, constantly winning. But sometimes you have to pay the price to win again. And that's what we're doing now. So, what we need, as I said at the beginning of the show, is to put on our big boy pants, suck it up a bit, and just support the team. They need us now, not when everything is going well and we support. It's easy to support then. Now is the time. Let's stand up and be counted as we expect the players to stand up and be counted. Sorry, I just had to throw that in, coach.
No worries. Roger, I'll be with you in a bit. Please just give me a few seconds here. Today, win Man United will give me so much happiness because they debuted us in the first leg. They've been beating us for a while now. If Poch learned something from last meeting with Manchester United, we will see how he sets up. Because if he sticks to the same approach, we will know what happened last time. I think every team right now, if you've been paying attention, they target our midfield. And they know also again when they apply so much pressure on our midfield, then they'll be able to get to our defense easily because the truth remains we are excellent offensively, but defensively, our midfielders they don't do much to protect our defensive line. And I can't believe I'm saying this. That was the same argument we made when we had the pairing of Kovacic and Jorginho. N'Golo Kante makes a difference whenever he's on the pitch. Unfortunately, that's the case right now. And I'm not going to blame the manager for that. The simple reason being, we don't have a more traditional DMs available. We've been playing people that are hybrids of 8 and 6 in that particular role. Some of them actually not wasn't again was never. Some of them you can say, for instance, what's his name, Moises Caicedo. He was never a 6, more of an 8 than a 6. But he's been able to fulfill that role to an acceptable measure, in my opinion. But I think the manager should do something different. Should look at doing something differently once we have any traditional 6 available, because he will go a long way. Breaking news here from Leighton. Winstanley wants to hire the Brighton manager, but the owners don't want him. I thank God we have given enough money to Brighton. I'm not sure whether to believe that or not, but yeah. Okay, thank you for that information there. We win, I will be very happy. Were you going to cry if we win? So I'm not sure what to make of that. What's the ball won with his other American football club? I honestly do not know. I'm just telling you in terms of how he responds to the fans' behavior. That this is not his first rodeo, and if you've heard them. And when I told people the letter from the fans group, what's it called again? The way it was written, some important issues were addressed in the letter, with some language for me. Personally, comes across as a threatening, and I told people, if anything, they'd be defensive. They're not gonna be that much open to, you can say, have for that dialogue with the fans. I think they may well do that later on, given the importance of reestablishing a communication line, if in fact anything happened to the one they had before. But my point at the time was that the letter could have been written differently, appeal to their good side. First of all, let them know, yeah, we see you want us to do well. You're really doing a lot, but it looks like we're doing it the wrong way. That's the way you phrase something, and somebody would want to talk with you, maybe to even try to explain that you need to be patient. But if you flat out tell them you're being stupid, practically you don't know what you're doing, I'm going to be defensive in some cases. But that's just me, by the way. We're moving from that. We're not here to talk about that. Who is winning the league? I do not know, but I can tell you will not be Arsenal. Just remember, I told you that. Kuchula, you're gonna have to bring Dante up, or ask him to make his expected formation for today, as he wants to approach the game. He will someday. I'm hopeful. Okay, Bali won with his other team he owns. I'm not sure what his one. I don't know the history of the LA Dodgers. Mount, let's see what happens. Bali didn't win. Man just sits there being pretty and does interviews with Forbes. That's what billionaires do. So I'm going to leave it at that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and then I'll try to again get your subsequent contributions. We don't have too much time. We have, I think, about 45 minutes and a little bit more time before we end the show. This is just a match build-up show. Hopefully, I'll check my schedule. Would have the time to do the pregame show, because it's on the working day, for lack of a better language there. Roger, coming to you. Are you looking forward to this one? And I know we can beat them, but we will beat them. Let's hear you, Roger. You can take it from any angle you want. It's a match build-up show. Did we lose Roger? Okay, I'm going to keep reading what we have there until Roger is ready to speak. It doesn't look like he has time right now. Big up to you.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, good
Roger.
afternoon, everybody. It's going to be an interesting game. Both sides are not in particularly good form. Chelsea, actually, you can say the same for both teams. They're so inconsistent, you don't know which team's going to show up. Unfortunately, they show up against us. They get up for us. They really do. And, generally and historically, not just this coach, but previous coaches in the last couple of years, we don't show up for the game. We seem very flat whenever we play them, and you can see they're very amped when they play us. And this is one of the very few teams that I detest with a passion. So if there's any game that I want us to win, it's always this rivalry. Just because it goes back many moons, and it's going to be an interesting game. I'm not sure about the choice of players that the coaching staff is going to pick. Does Silva start, or is he still, in the doghouse? I don't know. Does my cousin start? There's evidence to suggest that he played well enough in his cameo last game that he did enough to start. And this is what he does. He does this time and time again. He does just enough to warrant a justification for starting. Which begs the question, why doesn't he do this all the time? We've critiqued this coach for always starting him, and guess what? He didn't start the last game. And he came on and played well. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game. It's at home.
Missed his usual sitters.
I'm sorry, sir?
and he missed his usual sitters. I
Well, he's
still can't forget
consistent,
that
Bobby.
shocking header.
You've got to give it to the guy. The guy's consistent. Yeah, it hits him on the top of the head, I believe. He's just technically inept aerially. He really is. He's never been good aerially. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the crowd need to be a big factor. Otherwise, just play it in a neutral zone, neutral place, because we really add to the anxiety of the players based on the fact there's, shall we say, a lack of experience in this squad. If anything, the players should be able to feed off the crowd, but that's not the case. And I know you can say, conversely speaking, that you don't want the crowd have nothing to feed off the players, but guess what? You look at other stadiums, and when their team is in a doldrum, shall we say, in a certain phase of a game, you hear the crowd jeer them up. We seldom hear that. I've been there. Trust me. It's a library at times. So the crowd needs to show up.
Let me ask you this follow-up question. Okay, you're still speaking. Sorry.
No,
Roger.
go for it. Go for it.
I was going to ask you talked about Raheem Sterling doing well, that cameo in the last game. Did you do well enough that warrants him starting over? Let's just be, you could say, to start in place of Mihailo Mudryk, because Mudryk did very well in that game. The only thing he didn't do on that day was to get an assist or maybe get a goal. Even defensively, he did put in a good shift. But let's say did Sterling do well enough that he warrants? You can say he should be starting in place of Mihailo Mudryk.
It's like asking, is the Pope Catholic? You know my answer to that. He doesn't warrant it. He just doesn't warrant a start, in my opinion, because he's so inconsistent. We've seen this. We've gone through 40 games this season, if I'm not mistaken, and he's been so inconsistent. I look at these remaining 10/11 games left to have a look at certain players, a pre-season, if you will, and I think it behooves this coaching staff to start people like Mudryk to see whether they can, because you're only going to gain this experience by playing, and you can't duplicate game time speed in practice. So I think it behooves this coaching staff to actually put him time and time again as a starter and just see, because this season, I think we're still mathematically able to win the league, if I'm not mistaken. But let's be honest, it's never happening. We're not even making top 4, top 7, probably. So, this season is a wash. We're in 12th place, I think, right now. I know
we're 12th, actually. When Bobby you mentioned it yesterday, I thought he was joking. When I looked, we're in 12th place.
Yeah, but we've got several games in hand. There are certain teams that have 2 or 3 games more than us. Let's put it this way: if we win,
West Ham has played 3 more games than us.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are, I think, in 8th place or so.
Yeah, this is what we do.
Ahead, Roger,
if we win tonight, and that's a big if. It's a very big word considering it only has 2 letters in it. But if we do indeed win tonight and we win our games in hand, just work with me on this one, okay? Just dream, okay? Close your eyes and dream. And we do actually win our games in hand and win tonight. We're only going to be 2 points behind United. But you know what? They just haven't. Listen, we look at the last game. The last game, you're playing the 19th bloody place team in the league. It's the second worst scoring team with no manager and 10 men, and we couldn't convert. So let that sink in. Is it possible we could win out? Yes. Is it likely? Absolutely not. Where it was so inconsistent. Listen, you need to just take this and just play it. Every time we have a game, we give away too many defensive errors that lead to goals, and we don't take care of our chances. Yeah, and we've got 6 bloody big missed chances again. The conversion rate is poor. Will it click eventually, like Bobby suggested? Well, yeah, I think it will. There's so many talented youth players in this team. I mean, you listen to other former players, former pundits, and they acknowledge, they can see that we are a very talented team. And there's so much, we use this term all the time, so much potential. Question is, when does it all click together? Could be tonight, could be in a year or two. We don't know.
I think the beauty of inconsistency is the proclivity to win.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know whether I see
yeah.
that beauty, Bobby. I don't
Well,
want inconsistency. I get
you
your
know
point.
what
I'm just saying I
yeah.
would rather not. But go ahead.
You know, if they were, you know, their inconsistency lies in the fact that they are unpredictable. If they were always losing, then they would have consistency. Just as much as if they were always winning, they would have consistency. But right now, they are unpredictable, is more the word. And that has its positive side, believe it or not, because
Yeah.
the opposition, as much as we don't know what to expect, they don't really know what to expect. They have to look to the last game. And that's why I mean, if you judge Chelsea on that Burnley game, they're going to slaughter you. You can't do that. And if you can only take it from your experience of them, and sometimes they will surmount that experience. So it really is a wait and see. They are very capable of winning today, just as much as they're capable of getting their ass kicked. So it's just funny. It's a funny phase we're going through.
Bobby, are you trying to say we're lulling our opposition into a false sense of security?
To some extent,
40 games into the season?
Well,
I'm joking, mate.
It's not deliberate, but to some extent, yes. I mean, look what we did to Man City on their patch. You know, it's just they will do that to you sometimes. And then look at how we played at Middlesbrough in their patch. It's embarrassing. They could barely even trap the ball. So it's very, very up and down, unknown, unpredictable, and it's up in the air. And that in itself is dangerous.
Yeah,
not just to us, but to the opposition.
Yeah, because we are by definition a dichotomy, aren't we, really?
Absolutely, at the moment.
All right, just let's give those in the chat the microphone. I will come back to the panel again. And in them, it looks like this is your first time here. Welcome, feel at home. Express yourself. Just keep it civil. That's all we ask of you. Paying the price for a rebuild is inevitable, but we don't have the right man to take us where we want it to be. Your opinion. Mine differs from yours slightly. My opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Glenn, just responding. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. People, the likes to go a long way. We after to improve our second. To improve our second half of performance this way. Let's see. Big up to you too. Nice to see you, Mabasa 05, my Iraqi bro. I hope you're doing well. Big up and everyone on the panel. Okay, nice to see you. If we beat Manchester United at Stamford Bridge for the first time in 7 years, is that really correct? We beat them 2019, I think, in the cup game. You have to be very specific there. Maybe in the Premier League, I'm not too sure. But I remember seeing we beat them in the cup game. I think it was under Thomas Tuchel by 3-1. The day you can argue Messi must scored I wouldn't call it a fluke goal.
Yeah, that was under Lampard.
Was it under Lampard? Okay, Mason Mount scored one goal that De Gea, you could say he should be saving.
Yeah.
Should have saved. Again, I expected him to save that one on the day. Okay, but that's by the way, but that wasn't 7 years ago. Yeah,
I think they're probably talking about the Premier League because we haven't won them in the Premier League.
Specific. Yeah, thank you for that. Ty, Poch stays until the end of the season. Shocking. After 30th of June, we will review his contract. Yeah, shocking, right? Nothing. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And you say, nice to see you. Easy win for Chelsea, he says. I like the spirit. I do like your spirit, in all honesty. I hope we win. I hope we beat them easily. I hope we beat them convincingly. This is Poch's tactics every game. 4-3. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Poch's tactics every game. 4-3. 4-3-3. Individual players, passing, zero creativity, missed chances, and a confused defense. Wow, some comment right there. Good day to you too. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. How about feeding off the manager's influence? Some comment right there. To Bigo, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning in the chat. I cannot thank you enough. Afternoon to you too. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. I can't get everybody's comment. Is there anybody that I haven't said hello to? I think I've said hello to everybody in the chat there. I'm going to come back to the panel. Roger, anything else you want to talk about with regards to the game?
Sorry, Coach. Did a Bobby there. No. Let's. It's going to be interesting. It's like, who do you think? Yeah, I want to ask everyone. Who do you think is the back line with regards to centre backs? Not
leads
the full
the back line.
Yeah. Who's the centre backs?
I mean, it's a difficult one. I did again. I was thinking maybe Thiago Silva will not start, and Bobby did argue that the games we have a very tight schedule this month, which means that the manager will most likely rotate the back line to give players a rest and not overplay them. But at the same time, I explained to again. I did a question the manager's mindset when Thiago Silva didn't travel, stayed at Cobham and trained all week during the international break. And the next game we played, the manager started Benoit Badiashile over Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva who didn't travel. So for me, that was telling. In what sense, I honestly cannot explain. So I was thinking that maybe the manager decided to start to learn to play without Thiago Silva. That may well be the case, but chances are that doesn't mean that he's decided never to play him again till the end of the season. Chances are he just wanted him to rest even more, and then he gets to start today. So there's no telling what will happen. I can't just, there's nothing, one logic that it both, again, no matter from wherever angle you look at it, it makes sense to say, yeah, you know what, this logic makes sense more than the other one. But when you take your time to look at it from another perspective, you say, yeah, this particular perspective also does make sense. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but I'd go with him, Thiago Silva coming in for Badiashile, not because Badiashile was bad in the last game, because probably the manager would want to rest him and not risk losing players to injuries. But that's my response to that question, Roger.
You know what? I've got something to say about that. I wouldn't be surprised, and in fact, I'll be quite pleased to see a centre-back pairing of Chalobah, if fit, and Thiago Silva. I think he needs to rotate. I think Dessasi, although he didn't go on international break, he has played too many back-to-back games. I wouldn't be surprised to see him again, but it would be good to just let him be on the bench and come off the bench if needed. As for Badiashile, I don't know. You know, I think he is also recovering from injury, and playing him after 3 days, 4 days won't help him much. We have another game on Sunday as well. So a Thiago Silva Chalobah centre back pairing, you can't do much. You know, it's very, very good. They've played together before. They know each other. It's quite a strong centre back pairing, and Chalobah's mobility will help with Silva's immobility, but Silva's brain would add to some of the clauses sometimes that comes from Chalobah. I don't know if he'll do it, but I think that's where he should go personally.
Yeah, I think it's difficult, really, really difficult to correctly predict what the manager would do in terms of the selection of the back line. Let me try and get what we have here. I don't want to sound negative. To be honest, we know the outcome of tonight's game, judging by all that's happened so far. We just don't have the bite and consistency. This is how every team take advantage of us. Wow. Of course, I remixed that a bit to make sense of what I maybe could do with a bit more, one or two more words there. Good day to you too, Tapio Tenaro, who says, is the players or Is it the players or Pochettino's philosophy? If it's the players, how come? Okay, the spelling there. How come we give City, Arsenal, and Liverpool tough times? Simple. There's a simple explanation to that. When we play against teams that don't defend deep, that want to come at us and beat us, we tend to do well. I haven't done any research to back that up, but I think, on a surface level, that's what I believe is the case. Because if you put two and two together, and the fact that we do struggle against teams that defend deep, that tells you everything you need to know, in my opinion. Coach, in the league, the last time we beat Manchester United at Stamford Bridge, it was back in 2016 under Antonio Conte. Okay, I think I remember N'Golo Kante scoring in that game. Was that the one we beat them? Was that 4-0 or 4-1? But that's by the way. Anyway, if you guys don't like the video, you know what's gonna happen. He will tell you, probably, I'm guessing, that we're gonna lose today. We won't beat Man United, and Mason Mount will score against us and celebrate a shushing the Chelsea fans and knee slide. We don't want that. I would say I don't want that, but I'm not that superstitious. And I have to say this. Okay, let me not just ruin it for you. Usually when people try to convince me to do something by fear mongering, usually I don't do it. But I get your point there. And thank you. Coach in the league, I think I've read that one. Big up to you too, Willie. Bless. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I have to get back to work. Cheers for the lunchtime stream. Enjoy the game this evening. Lads, I enjoy it too. And please don't lose your job. I hope you're doing well, Glenn. I appreciate you finding the time to join us during your break hour. I think you said 1 hour break. Did you say that? I couldn't. Okay. Okay. I've read that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I would love to beat Manchester United and destroy their chances of getting into the top 5. And which in turn improves our chance of getting into the top 5. Yep. It was a 4-0 when we beat Manchester United under Antonio Conte, and it was Mourinho's return to Stamford Bridge. Was it at the Bridge? Okay. I can't quite remember, but that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with time. Let's hear you. Are you looking forward to this one? I know we can beat them, but we will beat them. Let's hear you, Ty. Big up, and you've made a good decision. You know what I'm referencing. I don't want to talk about it here. We can talk in private later. But Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been waiting 34 minutes to speak. But yeah.
Yeah, you know we don't value you here, right?
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to the game because I'm interested to see what happens as it relates to if we'll see any sort of progression, you'll see any change. And all our fans are saying that we haven't seen anything, and after so much matches, it'll be different. You'll be surprised to see any different. But I'm hoping to see some altering because this game has a lot of narratives surrounding it. We lost to them early in the season in a way that it showed that even in the state that Man United have been in, they still have that edge over us whenever they need it, and it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality. I'm looking forward to the game because I'm hoping to see changes, and hopefully we can get something from the game. I don't have much confidence that we will, but I'm hoping that something gives and we're able to get points.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ty. Roger, let me ask you this before again, there are a few just important news item here. Official Cole Palmer has been nominated for March's Premier League player of the month. Well deserved. He's done really, really well for himself. And 2 items I want to talk about here also. Chelsea's only defeat in their past 15 home games in all competitions came in the league against Wolves in February. Since then, our home record has improved. I think that gives me hope that at least we can get a draw. And the fact that our overall average goal per game since this season is 1.8 and theirs is 0.4 being the difference. So which means I think in worst case scenario would get a draw. The game ends in a draw. I don't see us losing at home to them because our home form has improved. Chelsea are winless in the past 12 Premier League meetings against Manchester United, drawing 7, losing 5. It's the longest run without the league victory against Manchester United. Wow. Concerning. So, Roger, here's what I wanted to talk about here. Let's talk about the rivalry between Manchester United and Chelsea. For me, I'd say the simplest definition would be it is a rivalry born out of the success of Chelsea's emergence. You can say under Roman. They didn't like that. I think they were dominating without a lot of other clubs challenging them that much until the arrival of Roman Abramovich. That changed everything. I think that's you can argue that's the simplest way to define that rivalry. But I want to hear from you, Roger.
Yeah, you're referring to the actual matchups, the actual. Listen, we have played poorly against them in the last 10 or so games. Our record actually looked quite shocking. But then again, you look at our last 9 games that we've played, not against United, just generally our last 9 games, we've lost 1. You know, it's not bad. I think the last 5 games were undefeated. Yeah, not a lot of draws in there too, don't get me wrong. But my biggest concern is that we are conceding goals for fun. You know, that's it. But then again, Man U, they have conceded the most amount of shots this, I think, calendar year, or was it season? I forget. They allowed
and
so
Hank
many.
says he doesn't care that much, right?
You know what? ESPN labeled United as depleted. They mentioned it several times in yesterday's show. Guess what? They have 6 people missing due to injuries. We have 9. So if they're depleted, what are we?
And if you talk about 6 people missing, Roger, they still have Maino, Casemiro is still available, Varane is available, Slabhead, like you call him, is available. They're not missing. They're not depleted. I wouldn't call them depleted in my opinion, but ESPN, they have every right to define their situation how they deem fit. But sorry for cutting you off, Richard. Go ahead.
No. If you're gonna label a team depleted based on the amount of injuries, and then the other team who they're going to face has more injuries, by definition, we are more depleted. But they don't mention that, and that's infuriating. But it is what it is. I have no idea which Man U team shows up. I would suspect, if I was a waging person, that they probably are going to show up for this game because they tend to far more often than not. And as for Chelsea, toss a coin. I have no idea which team will show up. I just don't.
Yeah,
couldn't tell you. We could turn up and play as well as we did against City, or we could be the same team that showed up against Middlesbrough. Who knows? I don't hold a crystal ball. It's hard to say, but it should be. I believe it's going to be a contentious game. You know, it's going to be. At the very least, we have to show grit in this game. You know, we do. We have to show fortitude. Play for the badge, as they say. And if we can do that, we can keep it close. I'm suspecting it's probably going to be a draw. I'm suspecting that. And I doubt very much it's going to be a goalless draw based on both these teams' defenses' woes. So I suspect it's going to be a 1-1 or a 2-2, somewhere around that. I'd be surprised
if either of the 2 teams wins, it would be by a slim margin. It won't be broad. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, and I haven't looked who's refereeing the game tonight. I just hope it's not a certain
George Gillett.
Okay, so it's not.
Does he have hair?
I'm not sure. But
I just thought that it was the Bluetooth game that started there. If he has hair, then we have a chance. If he's bald, then we're in trouble. But go ahead.
Exactly. Follically challenged. Listen, refereeing's going to play a big part in this game. So is VAR, sadly, because listen, United get so many calls, and we don't even get it even when we play at home. We're seldom. Listen, we were lucky to get a penalty last game. I concede that, but I just hope the refereeing doesn't change the game, doesn't take it out of our hands. But we need all 11 players to stay on the field for this game, and we need to show up. It's that simple, because we've got, 10, 11 games to make it into top 7. Will we? I'm not confident, really, based on the last 40 games. That's
But
all I'm
can it
basing
happen?
on. Yeah, of course it can. Mathematically, definitely in the shout.
Question, but the most important question is, will we?
Yeah. And as I said, it's the fact that we miss so many chances, and the fact that we, shall we say, present our opponents with many opportunities defensively. It's not a very good equation. It's a recipe for disaster. And that's why we are currently mid-table. And I use that term loosely. And that's why we are where we are, because of the fact we haven't been able to convert our chances, and we present our opposition with many chances. That has to be rectified if we're to succeed, short term, mid-term, and long term.
Yeah, I do agree. I'll come to you in a bit, Bobby. Festus Mwazi, I think it's been a long time I've seen interactive with anybody called Festus since I was in Nigeria. The truth is, if we start starting Starling, okay, just know we won't win. Thiago must start today, and surely I'm not afraid of Manchester United. You're not, yeah, but how does that compare to reality? You not being afraid of Manchester United, how does that compare to reality? We're pretty much even, but the truth remains, even in the worst days, for a few years right now, once we play them, they show up. Because the rivalry over time has grown to one of the biggest rivalries in English football, given our success since when Roman Abramovich took over the club at a time. If that makes sense. Let's see. Big up to you to Vic. Vic has become one of my enemies. He's joined the H-Place gang. I don't like him that much anymore. I don't listen to them because they hate Chelsea. And the Blue to forget is in the house. Big up to you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I know you're at work, but always finding the time to chip in one or two. But let's see whether you're making sense today or you're trying to come at me. He says, Jose accelerated that rivalry when he ran down the touchline in that proto victory against them, and then rocked up at Stamford Bridge the following season. The look on Sir Alex Ferguson's face, yeah, something to behold, never to be forgotten. Let's see. I still believe with Chelsea, we are okay. We win. I'm only concerned about our second half performances. Yeah, that's a constant thing right now. Us, you can say, falling apart from around the 75th minute and up to the end of the game. Even if we 10 goes up, chances are the opposition team will score 10, 11 goals and then beat us. I've just tossed a coin and it's heads, meaning a win for us. You don't say such yet, you're going to get in serious trouble if we lose that game or even draw. And just see my American bro is in the house. Just nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. It will be a midfield battle. Yep. It will be a midfield battle. And I think they will target us. But let's see how we deal with it. Again, I've always been concerned that our midfield, I think not just me, Roger, I remember also, we've talked about that. The midfield not doing enough to protect our defensive line. But unfortunately, the blame will always fall on our defense. You can say making a lot of mistakes, but the truth remains, once the pressure comes to them, 10 times, you can say at least 2 times out of 10, you see a mistake because they're humans. They're not perfect. They're not pre-programmed to do something. Even when machines are pre-programmed to do stuff, sometimes they go bananas. Because it's not perfect. Even machines aren't perfect. Sometimes you learn from bugs to fix something, if that makes sense. What's buzzing, Vic? Coach and Roger, have you heard that guy on ESPN after the Burnley game saying that they are all on 25 years deal? 25-year deal. Yeah, they've talked about that quite a lot. That was the best game I've watched, the 4-0 win. Okay, I didn't see a draw in this match. You don't see a draw? Okay, we'll see what happens. Do we have any fertile ground to promote at par, okay, with James, if not better, in my opinion. But we'll again, let's just be celebrate them both. They're both good. But numbers show he's actually, in his best season for Chelsea. Gusto is getting close to that. If not better, and Kukurea, in my view, is performing better than Benchua. Availability, they say, is the best ability. So I'll take that end part of your sentence there. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'm just glad I joined the stream today. It's been tough recently because of afternoon classes. My confidence is low today, but if we win, better. Really blessed. I hope we win. Stay confident. You have to. It's important not to immerse yourself that much in the outcome of games, so it doesn't affect your studies. Personally, I know how deep that can affect your personal life. You find yourself lashing out at people who did nothing wrong to you, but it takes maturity to learn and not to lash out at people that don't play for Chelsea. If that makes sense, United and Chelsea used to be good. Now both crap. Mark Smith, you could argue, the same thing. Hello to you too, JC. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join the show this particular morning. When do we make sense, Coach? You are at the gate. No, you are one of the Chiefs at the gate. So enjoy it. Breaking news: Nicholas Jackson on 9 yellow cards. Moises Caicedo on 8 yellow cards. Cole Palmer is on 7 yellow cards. Enzo Fernandez 6 yellow cards. Conor Gallagher on 6 yellow cards. Raheem Sterling on 6 yellow cards. At least something we do consistently. So I'll take that. Jay, nice to see you, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. More importantly, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. And Coach, I totally missed Josh CFC's comments. I thought he meant something else by MF. That's good.
That's funny.
Just go away, man. Don't do that to me. I want to talk football strictly. If you, okay. Badia Sheila, don't let him. Wow. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Okay, good luck to you, Bernard. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Anything else to address? I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Let's see. Morning to you, to my assistant, Santiago Munoz. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't say that, but I'm going to highlight it for a while. I think. All right. That's, by the way, Bobby, let's hear you. I want to hear you talk about the rivalry between Chelsea and Manchester United. I've given my opinion, what I believe, in my opinion, you could say, defines that rivalry. I think it's just our success versus theirs. At the time, I think they were shocked. They were surprised at how quickly we accelerated our success, and they didn't want us to. You could say it became, at the time. At one point, it was the biggest rivalry in Premier League at the time. But let's say you talk about that rivalry, Bobby. How did you think? How would you say it started? We want to hear from you. We want to hear you talk about it, Bobby, if you're there.
Yeah, Coach. It's very interesting when I hear people talk about football rivalries, because it kind of spans the length of their understanding or involvement, as it were, in the game and with the particular team they're speaking of. Chelsea Man United rivalries in football fluctuates depending on how much media attention they want to give to it, and depending on what prizes are at stake that they're competing for at the time.
Just quickly, Roger, I hope you saw that comment on screen that Jay made. I mean, I can highlight it for you if you want to.
Yeah, hit me. Let me have a look.
We know what?
Go ahead, Bobby.
Was that we now make sure what? Anyway, anyway, it all depends on the individual's scope of understanding or involvement or knowledge or experience of the team in question. And these rivalries fluctuate depending on what's at stake at the time. Some people, younger people, will believe that the time, for example, let's say the biggest rivalries in football now is like Man City and Liverpool, and to some extent that's true. But it's only a recent thing based on the recent fact that both of them have been consistent in challenging for the Premier League title. Look, Chelsea Man United rivalry goes back to probably the 1960s, 1950s. Certainly in the 60s, people like George Best, Bobby Charlton, Peter Osgood, um, Ron Harris will tell you that there were some bitter games played with Man United. You know, if I say the name Dennis Law, a lot of the youngsters will be rushing to their football encyclopedias. But there are people that will remember Dennis Law. I certainly remember watching bits of him on TV in the mid
Oh yeah.
70s as a child. And, he would come to the bridge and get an awful lot of stick, and vice versa when we go up to Old Trafford. So we've always had a rivalry with Man United. I mean, there was one day they had the cheek when they were relegated to turn their relegation season, as it were. They were struggling, but they would still turn up with about 20,000 away fans as people moved in droves in that day, and they had the cheek to turn up with almost that many at the bridge. There was a lot of problems in the stands in those days when they did things like that. But, Man United Chelsea rivalries are not new. In the early 90s, even as great as they were then, when they met Chelsea, they would put in a shift. In the FA Cup final when we met, yes, they turned us over, but the scoreline didn't actually reflect too much of the game, despite the fact they had the better players at the time. They had Mark Hughes, they had Eric Cantona, they had all sorts of players. Steve Bruce, you name it. They had Kanchelskis, all that lot were with them that day. But we still gave them a bit of a bloody nose, despite the fact the likes of Cantona, found the net on numerous occasions. Look, so it's not new. We don't. There's no love lost there at all, none whatsoever. And all those talking about, in 7 seasons we haven't beaten them in the league and so on. Okay, it's true, but the thing is, they always know that there's always one game away from that happening. Um, I don't think they should be too confident tonight, just like we shouldn't, for good reason. I think we are well capable of beating them. The issue lies in the midfield, as far as I'm concerned. If Pochettino is able to resolve the midfield situation, you're going to see something different tonight. They have that strength in midfield that we often don't have. That's the concern. And of course, the defense, the centre back pairing is very important. As far as Jackson's concerned today, it's an interesting one because I think if he's on, I think 9 yellow cards. If he gets one more, he misses what, 1 game or 2 games?
I think it's two.
It's two. So who have we got next? We got Sheffield United on Saturday, or is it Sunday? And then we've got another league game before the FA Cup semi-final. If that's the sequence of things, he may as well take one for the team, to be honest. Yeah, it's better he gets the yellow card now than later, and then miss the FA Cup semi-final. Now, what we do for a striker, I haven't got a clue. They'll probably put short bum up there to keep missing chances, but there you go. So, it is a rivalry that has. It's not new. It didn't start with Jose Mourinho. It didn't start with Roman Abramovich. It was alive
No,
and
but how
kicking
about
long
how about
before
this way,
then.
Bobby? Where does you can say our Chelsea's success come into play? I think it heightened the rivalry, even if it was there. I think they started taking us, you can say, seriously. When we, you can say, when Roman took over, the things changed. We signed all the players we signed at the time, and we started winning trophies. I think that heightened the rivalry, maybe. And I like the way you can say intelligently and in a very nice way called me a novice Chelsea fan.
No, I didn't.
I appreciate that. Go ahead,
I
Bobby.
I find my Chelsea colleagues, whenever I speak candidly and directly, tend to take some of sort of offense
No,
sometimes.
no, no, I don't. I
Um,
don't. I'm just kidding.
no,
You should know that. I
I,
don't
I'm
take
not.
anything personal. No.
I'm
You'd
not
have to
saying you in
insult my wife
particular.
or my kids before I take anything personal. Bobby, no, 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 no. No,
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm not saying you in particular at all, but it's good you highlight that because there will be those that listen to me and they'll say, "Oh, Bobby is saying that I'm this and I'm that." No, of course not. The fact is that is the reality. There are those whose memory scope cannot be as large as others simply because of the accident of birth and age. It's just as simple as that. And a lot of people will look at the intensity the media gave the rivalry during the time of Abramovich and the time we came to unseat the monopoly that as it were, that Arsenal and certainly Man United under Fergie were having on the Premier League. So of course the rivalry was intense around that time because the stakes were higher. But even before that time, anytime Chelsea played Man United, they by no means took it lightly. If anything, they were always scared of us because they felt that we were their bogey side. And indeed, we were for a long time. Even that FA Cup season, we beat them both home and away. And we were not, talking about 1993, 94. I don't know if Roger can remember that season. I certainly do. We beat them 1-0 at Old Trafford, Gavin Peacock, and 1-0 at home. What's his name? Is it David Steen? I've forgotten who scored. And then we went to the FA Cup, and less said about that, the better. So we've never been a walkover for them. We've always been a thorn in their flesh. You date it back to the 60s, and I'm sure there are those that will remember in the 50s and maybe even earlier than that. I can't help you there. I'll have to flip through the history books. Indeed, as I do for 50s and 60s, but it's been a long standing rivalry, but of different intensities. That's just the point I'm making. The intensity has been different as the stakes grew higher. So for those that believe the rivalry started in the Abramovich era, well, maybe if that's how you look at rivalries, you can't be wrong. But I can assure you, there's never been any love lost. Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham. West Ham. These are bitter Chelsea rivals that have been for a very, very, very long time.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that, Bobby. Ty, I don't know if you have anything to add to that. I'll come to you in a bit. And GFC Gavin is in the house. Please go check out his YouTube channel. Let's help him get to 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Here's the reason why we're always selfless here. The more we help other Chelsea aligned content creators grow, the more the broader our reach as content creators, and the more we're able to get more converts, for lack of a better language, to grow. The more we're able to grow our fan base. I think that's a more specific language there, or simplified language. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's go help him grow, and let's see anything else we have here. What time is the game? 15 p.m. my time. I'm not sure what's your time. Big up. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's see today. Uganda and London must turn blue. Uganda? Oh, okay. You're from Uganda. Wazi. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I hope you're doing well. Let's see anything else. Just keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's see. I'm gonna go to the very bottom. Ty, you want to chip in your 2 cents rivalry talk? Okay, Ty isn't there. Bobby, anything else you want us to talk about? If you're in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it, and I will. You can say move it to any panelists if it is too difficult for me to handle. I'm waiting for your questions if you're in the chat. Roger, and I'm sure you've heard the debate on whether Thiago Silva should start over Badiashile. What do you think the manager would do? And if you were the manager, what would you do?
Could you ask that one more time, please? Sorry.
It looks like for me, I think you could argue we lacked leadership at the back and in our last game. So given that, some people are arguing that's a chance the manager drops Badiashile to bring in Thiago Silva to help lead the back line. And I was my argument on that day was that I think the manager he's started looking beyond Thiago Silva. I think he's recognized the importance of us learning to play with Thiago Silva. And then Bobby argued that Thiago Silva will be selected today because the manager will be looking to rotate players, given the fact that the schedule is tight for us this particular month. So I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Thiago Silva gets a chance to start?
Actually, I thought last game was the litmus test. Does he start him or not? I don't believe
Alan, right?
Yeah, I don't believe he's listed as being injured, and he hasn't started in quite a few games. This tells me, for whatever reason, that he's not in the plans. It's possible he does start him tonight, but if he doesn't, then I'm sure he's completely gone. So whether it's because of Bella's comments or they have a contentious issue, a contentious relationship, perhaps, one doesn't know. It's pure speculation. But I would personally start him. But the argument for him not to play, based on the fact that he's probably not going to be here next year, and he's the wrong side of 30 by far, suggests that we do need to move on. Having said that, though, it would be nice for us to make top Europe next year. It really would. I mean, we need it financially, and B, from a fan base perspective, it's something that's a huge void for us. So it's a bit of a catch-22, as they say, a bit of a dichotomy. I don't know. I'm probably leaning more towards him not playing because we do need to move on. But I'll be honest with you, he's been our best centre back this season, and for the last 3 or so seasons.
Yeah.
So, but then again, he's not going to be playing for us next year in all likelihood, and it would be nice to retain him from a coaching perspective, perhaps, but
just keep him in some capacity.
Yeah, because this is a very youthful team. He is the only outfield player that is 30 or above. Our only outfield player. The only other 30-year-old in a whole squad is our third-string keeper, Bettinelli. That's it. This gives you an indication of how youthful this team is. Having a 30, 31, 32-year-old is not that abnormal. That's not old by today's comparison, yet we only have one outfielder. So,
Well, I'm with you, Roger. Before I go to Bobby, there's a question directed at you there. Why are we poor in the second half of our games? To be more specific, I think we usually start struggling from around the 75th minute. What can Poch do to try to improve? Rich Moneymakers, I think this qualifies for the delicious comment of the day. So this is for you.
Well, no, you look at the...
Good question. Let's see whether we'll get a delicious response from Roger. I'm quite sure we will. Go ahead, Roger.
Well, we're not poor in all our games. If you recall, against Leicester, we came out and were the better team in the second half.
But in most cases, we usually struggle towards the end of the game, don't we, Roger?
There's a certain reason why. One is that we are lacking people with experience and, more importantly, leadership. It's when you dig deep, you have the players around you like a JT like a Rio Ferdinand. I keep on mentioning these names because they epitomize leadership. You have people around the field that are able to dig deep and to lead people by example and verbally too. We don't have these people in our squad. Yes, you could be 20, but you could be an alpha leader. You know, you can still have experience at a young age. We don't have those people yet. And so this is a huge vacuum. You know, we're missing that. Plus, injuries have played a major reason. Lack of rotation. The legs get tired. Look at the midfield. How often do we have the luxury to rotate these players? You know, that's another reason. It's that simple. I think it's an amalgamation of many different reasons, but I definitely see the lack of natural born leadership as an issue being one of them, and experience. I think those two are huge factors why, you know.
Is height an issue?
Yes, it really is. Listen, you go watch other leagues. You have a look at Ruben Loftus-Cheek. You have a look at Pulisic. They're able to play and sustain a relatively healthy season in that league because guess what? It's not as physical. You have a look at Chelsea playing up against other teams. You have a look at Enzo trying to defend someone in the box. It's a mismatch. We have so many mismatches defensively. That's why we're so poor aerially. And then the people that we do have that have height, they don't dominate or they're not technically proficient aerially. I would say the only people that are on our team, our squad, that are technically proficient aerially is Thiago Silva, Badiashile, and Palmer. You know, realistically, I would say the rest of them are not, shall we say, their forte is not aerially. Like, let's put it this way: Slabhead is better than anyone we have aerially. Let that sink in for you.
I'd ask you for your ID if you've finished, if you've dropped and not mention him.
Coach, he dominates.
Yes.
Okay, another one.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Another one is bloody the centre back that we let go to West Ham. That I still rue the
Zuma.
day. Kurt Zuma.
Zuma is good aerially.
He dominates aerially. He absolutely dominates. You have a list of look at the players we've had traditionally, you know, with regards to us being good players. And it's shocking, guys. It's shocking that we don't have these kind of players anymore. You know, I don't know. To me, it speaks volumes. It really does. You know, you have, like, as I said, Zuma, Ivanovic, Rudiger, you know, David Luiz, you know, Giroud. These people dominated the ball. JT, obviously, you know. These
David
players,
Luiz was an aerial monster.
Yeah, and even Tomori. You know, it's like these players, we miss these. Listen, we have very good players technically, but they don't have the dog in them. They don't have the physicality. You know, they just don't, gentlemen. It's that simple. Now, don't get me wrong. They're excellent at what they do. Badiashile is excellent. Chalobah is excellent. Colwell is excellent. Disasi. Fofana, yes. You know, but they don't dominate physically. They don't have that. This is a very physical league. This isn't the bloody Serie A or the Spanish league. Those are, with all due respect, for the most part, very soft. Those teams would not be able to compete in the Premier League.
Yeah.
If they
in fact, Roger, here's what that shows us. I think our recruitment team, they weren't paying attention to how the players were signing complement the players we have already.
Yeah,
I think that's a solid argument.
I'll be really honest with you, and I've said this from day one. I struggle with the concept of us having Moises Caicedo and Enzo in midfield.
As good as they are.
Yeah. Listen, I believe that if Chelsea was transplanted, put in Serie A or the Spanish league, I am telling you, they would they would boss the games, they would dominate. And we'll see that probably when we play in Europe. You know, they'll dominate. They are excellent, but they are so it's such a mismatch watching them in midfield and at set pieces. You know, you see that they're giving away 4 to 6 inches on the average against man. You're going to see it tonight. You're going to see the massive mismatch. Plus Enzo. Listen, I love Enzo. But he doesn't have, he's usually further upfield a lot of the time, especially when we have possession. And this is where we're caught in transition. He doesn't have the pace. He's another J5. J5, I felt the same way. J5 was, whether you like him or love him, but he lacked the physicality. He lacked speed. You know, that's not
Yes,
none
then,
of his fault.
they differ a bit. J5
Yes,
can read the game better.
Yeah, of course, but
More
look
of
at
a
the
register than
experience.
Enzo is, yeah.
Yeah, but look,
Yeah.
but I look at Enzo as a registrar. Also, I look at him as the same mold, the same profile of a player.
Yeah, in terms of pace,
Yeah,
vision,
yes,
I think they have
and
vision in common. Offensively, he's better than J5. Reading the game, and then you could put in defensive, defensive, you could say, contributions. I think J5 is better in that aspect.
yeah,
And
but
I think but go ahead with what you were saying.
listen, they both have redeeming qualities. There's no doubt about it. But they're the same profile of player. They're both very good at what they do, but they also share the same deficiencies. That is the physicality. That is the speed, etc. You know, and in this league, you'll, as Bobby will say, you'll be found wanting. It'll catch up with you. This game at this level is all about fine margins and finding mismatches. That's where you lose. And this is where we have seen time and time again on midfield, with very few exceptions. You know, and you can look at the fact that we don't have a lot of speed in the back line, especially the centre backs, especially when we were employing Silva, where they could actually move up, where the gaps between vertically each line, you know, was more narrow, more compact, both vertically and horizontally. So therefore, that's it's a knock-on effect. It's a domino theory, and that's where we're lacking. You know, we're lacking certain aspects. And to be honest with you, on midfield, I love them. I'm so happy we have them, but I question their ability to compete, especially against the bigger, faster teams that can bully the midfield. And listen, I believe both these players have been able to be available for the vast majority of these games. You know, thank God they haven't really been injury prone. You know, and guess what, gentlemen? We have been found wanting. This is our weakest point in some regards, is our midfield, especially in transition. And then this is the reason why we're conceding. Have you not noticed the last several years, whenever we're taking a corner on the attack, we're caught out in transition? I actually worry when we're taking a corner, because we can easily be, you know, pounced upon. And it's because of that lack of physicality and that lack of speed. You know, as I said, Enzo, Caicedo are wonderful individualistically speaking. But as a team, I seriously doubt that they can sustain a level of, shall we say, dominance that we are used to, and that is required for Chelsea to succeed at the highest levels, to make top four, to win this league. I don't believe that they're the case. You look at City, they employ Stones, or they have Rodri there, players that are physically monsters, they're units. And of course, they're technically gifted and they're wonderful players. But guess what? Look at the difference between the top. Look at the midfield of Arsenal with a Rice. You know, look at them. Rice was a difference maker.
Right, let's get those in the chat, the microphone. We'll catch up. I think we have just about a few. We have just a few minutes to round off. Coach, both teams are bad at set piece. United like a quick counter attacks. This is not a game made for Silva. better than better Chalobah. Chalobah actually, I don't think I'd consider Chalobah good, really, in my opinion. But we'll find out. And Houston, really United on the opposition in the opposition half they're good. I think defending set pieces where this usually you see a bit of confusion there, leading to them conceding goals. Okay, we've seen Mabasa shared his predicted lineup. Please check it out if you're there. Let's see this Conte trying out something and big announcement. Conte officially, I think maybe maybe he needs some practice. He will become the show's producer. So my job will just be job of the panelists will be to address your comments, and his job will be to highlight only aligned comment topics that are aligned with the current topic, or until he's told, okay, that we're on free form right now. That's when he highlights every comment that makes sense that the panelists need to address. That will make it easier. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes, understream people. The likes to go a long way. And the Bluetooth game is saying whoever made the decision to drop silver is childish, especially if it is for that reason. So don't be too definite saying, yeah, whoever made that decision to drop him, especially if it is, for that reason, or the reason that you mentioned. I'm guessing you're referencing his wife's comment. I don't think that's the case. They are letting their emotions get in the way of the overall success of the team and the club. Silva is him, typical. Nothing new there. But I don't think it's been dropped for the reason you're indirectly referencing. Ben is saying, can I join to say something? You'd have to message me via Twitter to do so. And we're about to round off. But if you can reach out via Twitter quickly, that's because this is your first time. And today we didn't have plans to share the link in the comment section. So it's difficult. And Wally Waldo, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. He's saying, I don't think our defense is the problem. Honestly, I think it's our front line. In my opinion, I think the issues we're having in our defensive area stem from the midfield. In my opinion, they don't do much to protect our defensive line. I think it's our front line who cannot score. That's a huge part also. We are where we are today for a myriad of reasons, multitude of reasons. Again, choose whatever language you prefer there. Unless Palmer goes full-blown Hazard in his cause himself, I think he's different from Hazard. The two, you can say, different players, in my opinion. I thought they were added to okay, is that Lewis Newton cradle ball swinging on his desk for everyone to see and swing. I'm not sure what you're referencing there. Look up Newton's cradle. I don't know what that is. I'll try to look it up. I think he's better than Jorginho. I'm not going to do that comparison right now. One is still a potential, no matter how you see it. One, he may well, in a few years, become better than Jorginho. You can't just say he's better than Jorginho. Jorginho has achieved a lot. Maybe he's won the World Cup, but Jorginho has won variations of trophies, not just the World Cup. But they're both good. I think they differ. I can't quite put my hands on how they differ right now. One is more of a register, one is more of an 8. Enzo isn't a register, and I don't think he can be one. Even I get it. Without pace, Jorginho is able to fulfill the register role, even the DM role, because he can read the game very well from a defensive perspective. Enzo can read the game very well from an offensive perspective. He has that vision that if you make the run, it's see you. Jorginho has that too. But Enzo doesn't have doesn't see things that well from a defensive perspective. So I don't know. So it's not that easy to just conclude that one is better than the other. At least Enzo can play on an actual long ball to the side to the sidelines. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. And if need be, I'll get your subsequent contributions in the house. A lot of people from the H place today in the chat. But Chimera, nice to see you. Long day today. I have zero belief in this team, and United will take the liberties. Let's see what happens. Roger, that's Rich Moneymakers. Thanking you for the answer he got from you. So if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it. We have just about 5 minutes to round off. Bobby, anything else you want to say? If you say that, if we don't see any questions in the chat, which we'll just call it a day.
Yeah, I just have to quickly speak out about what Roger has just said, because often I've said this on platforms for many years, and I am mocked when I speak of physicality. But I've been watching English football for decades, and I know there has never, and probably will never, unless things drastically change, been a successful team that negates physicality. Be it the Blackburn Rovers that won the league, be it the Liverpool of the 80s, be it Man United teams, be it even the Arsenal team that were called the Invincibles. Physicality is English
I'll be
football.
right back.
And if you don't have that, you don't win. We lack it. It's glaring. It's so clear. And I'm astonished, really, that we have allowed this to continue. Now, I know injuries has not helped us at all, because we tried to address it, but the players we tried to address it with became injured. Certainly in the midfield, with the likes of Carney coming in
Lavia.
to arrive, yeah, and Lavia and Ugochukwu, as young as he was, he got injured. Now, one thing that actually, a question I'd love to put to Pochettino tonight. You started, or at least you brought on Ugochukwu many a time in big games. Why are you hesitating to do the same with Casaday? Are they not the same age? Now, I appreciate that Ugochukwu is a specialist as a DM and Casaday perhaps isn't. But Casaday has shown a capability to do that. Unless there's something he's been missing in training that gives you concern, this has got to be a time to try him, surely. Because if we go into this game without addressing that physicality, I just think it's pointless. I just think we are just heading to a problem.
Bobby,
Yeah.
out of all these young players that we have, I'm talking about the ones on the periphery, the ones looking in on the
Yeah.
outside. I think he has one of the best, if not the best, chance of succeeding as a professional, whether that's with us or anyone else. I really
Who,
do.
Casaday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scissor, definitely.
he's a very good player. Now I'm not one to insist on youngsters playing week in, week out, and all
Right.
that sort of thing, but because I know they are under development, and he's certainly under development. This is, really his first season of any type of in English football. Prior to that, he was playing development football, but there comes a time where you just throw them in every now and then, and this is such a time. Unless he has shown he can't deal with it, then that's a different matter. We haven't
Sure.
seen that. But personally, I will put him in. We need that physicality. I don't think he'll disappoint us.
No, I agree. I really, I look at other people and I'm like, he's by far, I think, the one
I'll
with
come for it,
the
yeah.
very high ceiling. And you're right. He has these physical attributes, the physical tools to compete. Yeah, and he doesn't. He's not the same profile player as Leslie. I agree. Also, totally agree with everything you said. This is one of the criticisms I think that is legitimate about Poch. However, you're right. I believe a lot of the times we want to see certain players, but these coaching staff do see, for whatever reason, in training that they're not ready yet, and I think we need to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who would you start as your centre backs, Bobby?
There's
I
another
would
question
go.
for you on the screen, Roger. I don't know if you need to answer that. Would you take a midfielder from Everton? They needed to sell. I think you're talking about Amadou Onana. We wanted him. He didn't want to come to us at the time. I think that was last January. Vinnie Jones, when I called him, he could break a leg or two. Chelsea have always had physical midfielders when we've won the leagues. Matic, Michael Essien. I think you underrate Mikel. Mikel is there. He's very physical.
There's one player, coach, that I like
Sorry?
There's one player that I like, but he's very young, that I like for Everton. That's Braithwaite. He's a centre back. I think he's going to be a star. He's really good.
So if we're signing young players, let's sign with some of the best, right?
Yeah, no, he looks like the real deal. He really does.
Yeah.
He's going to have a good future ahead of him. I think he's going to
Yeah.
be a future England star.
Yep. Michael Essien and all the names you mentioned. Bobby, we all know what Poches means. And yep, let's say today should be a starting games over Gallagher. Wow, some argument. Okay, let's see what happens. I can assure you, even Romeo Lavia won't be starting over Gallagher as long as Mauricio Pochettino is the manager. And I'm gonna keep arguing that because today I think I've read that one. We've addressed that one. I think somebody's practicing something, which was why he went back. I want Mount to score a goal and kiss the patch today. Let's see what happens. Then Mineros FC will say he told us all. Yep, and I will blame the owners for selling him. Amadou Onana is on 100K per a week, so you think that's going to be an issue? So which you could argue more likely the reason why Everton wants to sell him, because they have an unhealthy financial situation. And then Nice Slide, everything you said there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And then up and kiss Johnny in the stands. Yeah, that's another part of it you want to see. You cannot out physical Premier League teams. Every player is physical and fast. You need ball IQ and and top tactics to beat them. You need a bit of everything. But I understand where you're coming from, Chimera. Roger, they are looking at Braithwaite. Is that how you pronounce his name, from Everton? Braithwaite. Yeah, I think I've seen that before. Maybe because I didn't know the correct pronunciation of the name. Sorry, coach, that was me. Yeah, you're practicing. Yeah. So Constantine Dante will become the producer. He will be responsible. I've given him a role on StreamYard. He will be responsible for highlighting aligned comments. That's not to say you're not allowed to have a good conversation with a fellow community member. You're allowed to do that. But to keep things moving and not to tire out it before we get 1 hour into the first hour of the show, it's important that we only address aligned comments. And if need be, we'll go free form, where anything you put in the chat that's sensible, we try to address it. Bobby, anything else you want to say before we call it a day?
No, I think we've covered quite a lot. As always, it's been an interesting and a good time.
Yep, thank you so much. It's been an excellent conversation. Bobby, you have anything? Roger, you have anything else to add? You two don't ever disagree, so that's why easily I call you guys to say
whatever.
Indeed. Anything else you want to say, Roger?
No, I think it's been a really good show as always. I'm really looking forward to this game, but with anticipation. But I'm also really nervous. I'll be honest with you. This is the team that I detest to lose to more than any other. This is the one. Okay, let's put it this way. I'll put it in context. My son's not into sports, but he's a Man U fan because he knows I detest them. And he bought a Man U t-shirt and he puts it on and he wants to hug me. Let's just put that.
I like him already.
Yeah, he's out of the wheel. Let me put it that way.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for that. Kuchila, blind and handling the keys to the castle. To the up. I don't know, Roger, have you dropped?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you, as always, gentlemen.
No, more thanks to you. It's not easy. I'm quite sure it's just the happiness of discussing your beloved club, nothing else. You don't get paid for being on the panel. So I respect you finding time to always to be on the panel. Same thing, Bobby. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the love. Roger, you need
what?
You need sugar. Don't mind them. All right. With that, we've come to the natural end of the show. I appreciate you guys enough. Coach, just I want company in the H place until wants you back. I appreciate Dante for all the love. I want to say thank you to the Blue to forgive. Much love to you and Constantine and all of you, and then Rich Money Makers, all of you in the chat. Chelsea boy, big up to you too. Sorry, I didn't see you coming there. Chimera, thank you. The H, you can say the H place PR what's a PR officer. I appreciate you for finding the time to join us this particular morning. All of you in the chat, Wally Waldo, And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Good night, people.
Yep, night, people.
Day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost.